Russian dictator Vladimir Putin made a new statement regarding the Oreshnik medium-range missile. To do this, he gathered the leadership of the Russian Defense Ministry and the military-industrial complex for a meeting. The meeting was held in the Kremlin Security Council hall with the participation of the Russian dictator's aide Alexei Dyumin, Defense Minister Andrei Belousov, Roscosmos head Yuri Borisov, heads of defense enterprises and others. Putin was obviously in high spirits, but the officials present at the meeting did not share his emotions. During his speech, the dictator announced the successful testing of the Oreshnik, apparently referring to the missile strike on the Ukrainian city of Dnepr. He congratulated those present on this, promising to continue the testing. The head of the Russian Federation tried to refute rumors that the Oreshnik is an old Soviet development and that the number of such missiles is limited to just a few units. Oreshnik is not a modernization of old systems, but a modern cutting-edge development. We have a stock of such products, he said. Putin got by with general statements about the Oreshnik without revealing its technical characteristics. Thus, he insisted that the missile was comparable to a strategic weapon, but at the same time allegedly is not a weapon of mass destruction. Also, according to the dictator, no one else in the world has such weapons. He announced the serial production of the Oreshnik, noting that the missile would become a guarantor of the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Russia. The meeting was not without threats to both Ukraine and the West. In addition to promises of new missile tests, that is, strikes on Ukraine, he threatened Europe. The Oreshnik can fly across the entire territory of Europe, said Sergei Karakayev, commander of the Russian Strategic Missile Forces at the meeting. Recall, on the night of November the 20th, Russia launched a missile attack on the Dnepr, injuring 2 people. Rumors immediately surfaced that the attack was carried out by an intercontinental ballistic missile launched from the Kapustin Yar test site in the Astrakhan region of the Russian Federation. After this, Putin gave a speech announcing the first successful use of the Oreshnik medium-range missile. There is very little information about this development. Ukrainian military intelligence claims that the attack on the Dnepr was carried out by a Kedra missile system.
Electric grids have buckled more frequently and outages have become longer across the U.S. as the warming atmosphere carries more water and stirs up more destructive storms, according to an AP analysis of government data. In the Pacific Northwest this week, a bomb cyclone caused roughly 500,000 outages. People with disabilities and chronic health conditions are particularly at risk when the power goes out, and many live in homes that lack the weatherizing and backup power supplies needed to better handle high temperatures and cold freezes, or can't pay their electricity bills, said Columbia University socio-medical sciences professor Diana Hernandez, who studies energy instability in U.S. homes. In Texas, as another winter approaches, people can't shake fears of another blackout like the one during a cold freeze in 2021 that left millions without power for days and killed more than 200 people. Despite efforts to create more resiliency, a winter storm that powerful could still lead to rolling blackouts, according to ERCOT, which manages most of the state's power grid. Beryl also knocked out power to millions for days, sickening many in the sweltering July heat. Local and state officials showered criticism on CenterPoint Energy, Houston's power utility, saying it should have communicated more clearly, taken more preventative measures such as tree trimming before the storm hit, and repaired downed power lines more quickly. Its response remains under investigation by the Texas Attorney General. One of Houston's electricity retailers, Reliant, compounded problems with communications that raised false hopes that power could be restored more quickly to the most vulnerable in a very targeted way, giving individual customers priority. Reliant acknowledged the error when contacted by the Associated Press. It's not clear how many customers got the wrong information. CenterPoint says it's focused now on improving resiliency, customer communications and community partnerships with one defining goal: to build the most resilient coastal grid in the country that can better withstand the extreme weather of the future. Elderly people were particularly affected, prompting Texas lawmakers to debate this month whether assisted living facilities need more regulation. One suggestion, requiring them to have enough emergency generator fuel to power life-saving equipment and keep indoor temperatures safe during an extended blackout, as Florida did after a scandal over hurricane-related nursing home deaths.
My first time ever being in a situation like that. The ice was hitting up against the windows because I got a window here and a window here, a big one on this side, and I thought somebody was throwing rocks at my window. And I looked out and these big old chunks of ice, and then all of a sudden my lights went out. And that means my oxygen went off.
It was horrible living over here without the power. I can't even explain it. That's just how devastating it was.